Hello, I'm Aaron. I'm an aspiring composer. In the previous video, I showed you my process to write an A section to some music that was sad. Like I said in the video, I'm not sad. It's just cinematic composing, which is a great channel you should check out. Has a list of musical types for cinematic music. And sadness was just at the top of the list, so that's what I'm making now. The A sections in the past have come fairly easy to me. B sections are harder because it somehow has to contrast the A, but somehow has to match it, maybe. So anyways, I threw some chords together. I never really did go over my reasonings for picking these chords. Basically, it's in the key of A minor because there's no sharps or flats. It's easy to work with. So the chord progression ends on the 5/7, which is very typical. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or, not yet anyways. So the B section, what are we going to do? I've seen some people play the exact same chords, just with different timbres, different instruments, different orchestration, different tempos. In this case, the 5 wants to resolve back to the tonic, and kind of like an alternate tonic, in my understanding, what I've learned is the 6 and the 5. So the tonic is the 1. The other tonic chords inside the scale, or the progression scale, or the chord scale, would be the 6 and the 3. So I chose the 6. From A minor to 6. From A minor to F is 6 notes, and it lands well. And in this one, in the A, it uses the A note as a pedal tone. And then in the second part, the bass kind of climbs up, from A to C to D to E. In this B section, I'm kind of doing the opposite, where there's no pedal tone in the first cycle. And in the second cycle, I use the F, not really as a pedal tone, but I do like a climb, and it does function as a pedal tone for a couple chords here, and then it climbs from F to G to A to B. And I'm already planning the A, I guess that would be the A3 section, because this is A1 with no counterpoint, A2 with a counterpoint, and then a B for some contrast. And then it ends in the 5, which makes it sound like it's going to resolve back to the 1. But my plan is to modulate it one chord up to a B minor, instead of A minor. Hopefully that works. I'm pretty sure it'll work. But anyway, so far I got the chords down. Here's my little melody that I'm working with. I'll play it for you now. Sad music. So the idea kind of towards the end was it's going to be kind of like a build-up, like a swell. And then when it peaks on the swell, it's going to modulate to the next higher chord, which is B. And also the pedal note is a B instead of having the root note in E, it's a B, so that when it switches to the B, it has some previously established foundation. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to, I don't know, the bass in the previous section was kind of just a pulsing, what is that? That's it's basically half note pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So my Cubase is thinking. So the next one, I got to do something different. See, it goes up to the 6, so that implies that it's amped up a little bit. So a lot of times a B section drops the energy. I think this one might elevate the energy. We're going to have to find out, because some of this is intent, some of it is happy accident, some of it is tragic. Catch on fire, burn down the building, earthquake, ground opening, swallow you, disaster. We'll see what this one is. Be right back. Okay, so I've made the bass line. I'm doubling it with the cellos. I might switch that because I might even put the melody into the cello. But this is a sketch. So I'm trying to be thoughtful of the players, and bass players get screwed because all they play is one note a lot. So instead of just doing one pulsing note, I actually have them walking around a little bit. So except for towards the end, I slow them down a lot because it's supposed to be kind of like a suspension, like a spacey kind of swell up. So here's what we got so far: the melody and the bass line. So now I gotta add like the centerpiece, like an ostinato, something kind of moving a bit, kind of filling out the chords. I'm gonna be simple. I'm just trying to throw something. I actually gotta get back to work, so and I'm just doing this on a break. So I'll be right back. Okay, we have made an ostinato slash harmony slash. What's up? I'm getting swole. If you want to see how I cut 6 pounds in 2 weeks, and my workout program, my diet program, my jiu-jitsu training, getting sick and throwing up from jiu-jitsu, I have another channel called Vintage Vitality. Vintage because I'm vintage. I'm 51 and a half. Gonna get abs for the first time in my life. So look for that, Vintage Vitality. Look in the description. There'll be links to it. Back to this. How did I do this? This is the when Cubase starts thinking like this. Man, I got 64 gigs of RAM on this computer. And what? That's not enough? I guess maybe it's not enough when I got OBS running. Should I put it on pause and wait for this thing to finish? We'll put it on pause and wait for this thing to finish. I'm going to learn how to talk. That's part of the process here. Is I'm trying to learn how to think and reason and be accountable. And I'm back. Okay, so to make that ostinato, all I did was get the chords. I took out the bass line, and then I just kind of monkeyed around inside these chords, these notes. It I'm not going for Bach. I mean, I'm going for Bach, but I'm not Bach yet. And I'm trying not to get like some brilliant masterpiece in the way of functional, and will do. Let's move on. So that's the pattern I came up with, and this is what it sounds like. That's what we got. Okay, now I was thinking that was going to be it, but now that I'm here, I think I want a counterpoint for the second half of the B section, because I think it will add like an element of a build-up before we modulate, go up a key, and repeat, copy, paste, repeat, change key of section A. I'll be back with a counter melody. Okay, for the counterpoint, I really just phoned this one in. I gotta get back to work, man. We're just throwing stuff out there. I gotta make some stuff. This whole process is just to get the ball rolling again. Provide some accountability, kind of a log, kind of, so I can look at myself and look at what I'm doing and get my process down. So this is what we got for the B section, and this is going to be a wrap because I got to move on. That's that. I'll play the whole thing through. I feel like I'm getting some clipping. I don't know if you hear that. Where's the anti-clipping? Maybe the limiter? Oh, this. How about that? Turn that down a bit. Okay. So this is all, I'm kind of learning how to do this. Cubase is deep and wide. And, I'm just got my feet inside of it. So here we go. This is it. After this, I'm going to have to wrap it up. So I can tell between these two parts, I'm going to have to shoehorn something to make them blend better because that didn't blend, at least to my ear. So that's not going to be for today. So this is how I'm throwing stuff up on the board. I hope I'm making some reasonable progress and in a timely manner, because a big part of this is just being able to get stuff done and move on to the next thing. So I'm going back to work. I hope this was somewhat entertaining for you. And that's it. Bye-bye.